Good morning, old school Texas Tech. Hope everyone's doing well. I'm continuing with my postseason predictions. This today is going to be the second college football game that I've predicted. Jordan and I both predicted that Notre Dame would beat Indiana, which they did. I think I've only missed on one bowl game, and I'll start posting my postseason record in the comments. Anyway, this is kind of a tough one to call for me, and I'm not necessarily the biggest SMU fan in the world, and I wasn't 100% sure before I studied their season that they really deserved a spot in the playoffs, but after looking at it, I definitely think that the committee made the right decision by putting them in the playoffs. They're led by Coach Rhett. I think his name's Lashley. To be honest, from his interviews and stuff, I'm not the biggest fan of him. To be honest, I find him kind of arrogant. He puts me off a little bit, but whatever. He's done a good job coaching at SMU, 29-11. They were predicted seventh in the ACC this year. I still can't believe they're in the ACC, but it is what it is. They lost the conference championship game, a thriller, to Clemson. I watched most of it. They got their quarterbacks explosive, threw for over 3,000 yards, 3,050 yards, 66% of his passes he completed, 22 touchdowns through 8 picks. He has like 5 or 6 receivers he throws the ball to, so very good ball distribution. Definitely the Pirate would be proud. They also throw it to the lead running back a lot, Smith, and he carries for about 5.9 yards a carry, so almost 6 yards a carry. They've got a good offense. Let's go through their schedule a little bit. I think this is kind of what separates the two teams, and I think this is also why the spread is what it is. But they had a couple easy wins early in the year. Then they lost to BYU at home. Obviously, being in the Big 12 as a Texas Tech fan, I'm familiar with BYU. That was definitely a difficult loss for them, but BYU is a decent team for sure. I mean, I guess we can say BYU is a good team. So it's not a terrible loss. Then they beat TCU. TCU wasn't that great this year. They were okay. Beat Florida State. Florida State struggled. They beat Louisville on the road. That was a nice win for them. They beat Stanford, Duke. They beat Pittsburgh at home, and they beat them handily at home. While Pittsburgh was 18th ranked at the time. Boston College at Virginia, California, and they came really close to beating Clemson. That was a great game. So they had a good year, but then let's go take a look at the Penn State schedule. At West Virginia, they won handily. Bowling Green, Kent State. Then they won at home against the 19th ranked Illinois. UCLA, they won that one handily at home. They struggled a little bit on the road at USC, but they were flying across the country. At Wisconsin, 28-13. Then they lost to Ohio State at home. Ohio State, fourth ranked team in the country, also in the college football playoff. They beat Washington, beat up Purdue, only beat Minnesota by 1 point, beat up Maryland. That was a game that was controversial. I remember that at the end. And then they lost to Oregon in the conference championship game. So Penn State, James Franklin, their coach. I know he's controversial. There are a lot of people who don't like him. I'm indifferent. I really don't have an opinion on him. His record at Penn State is 99-41, I believe. So he's won this. If he wins wins today, it'll be his 100th win with Penn State, I believe. He uses co-coordinators on both sides of the ball. It's interesting to see how he structures his coaching staff. Looks like, except for one of the co-coordinators, 3 of them were brand new to the program this season. So that was interesting. Quarterback's name, I haven't watched a lot of Big Ten, so forgive me. I'm sure this is a household name for Big Ten fans, but Allar, I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce his name. Threw 2,894 yards, 69% completion rate percentage. 21 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. He likes to throw it to a tight end, Warren, who has over 1,000 yards receiving. Looks like he had 6 touchdowns. Wallace the third's his favorite wideout. Their lead back, he also likes to throw to him. He has 5 receiving touchdowns. Name is Singleton. And Singleton averaged 6.4 yards a carry on the ground. They also have some other running backs that they use that are very, very good on offense. Just like SMU, so I didn't get a chance to go through some of the SMU stuff as well. I kind of jumped the gun a little bit on this one. Anyway, SMU, they've got a turnover ratio of 0. Penn State's +5. That could be a little bit of a difference. Trying to, I think it's fair to say Penn State plays in a tougher conference than SMU, but the ACC has been solid this year also. SMU held opponents to 2.7 yards a carry on defense, and Penn State held opponents to 3.2 yards a carry on defense. They both were good at getting, just like in any team that's going to make it to the playoffs, more than likely is going to be good at getting the opposing team off the field on third down. I think what I'm going to go here is I think this is going to be a really good game. I can't resist the joke. I mean, SMU's been they've been good at buying teams for a long time, and now it's legal, and this is a good team. SMU's got a good team, but I think Penn State will win 27-24. They're 8-point favorites, but I think Penn State will win. I'm just basing that off of being in a tougher conference. I think that they will do a little bit better job of protecting the football. I think that's probably what will happen. But it wouldn't surprise me at all if SMU won. It wouldn't surprise me at all. I mean, this is going to be an interesting game. I think this is going to be a good game. Anyway, I'm going to try to watch some of it, and I'll be back later. I'm going to predict the other 2 playoff games today as well.